Hello, me, everybody. How you doing, everybody? You know Dory. Dory is here today. And today we're going to talk about something different. We're going to talk about women's clothing through the eras. And yes, recieve cats here. Incidentally, cats don't have to worry about that. His fur is timeless. He doesn't have to worry about changing his fur. It's true. It's timeless. And I'm going to feed these guys real quick. While I'm feeding the kitties, I can ask Dory what she thought about some of the videos we saw today. Earlier we watched a series of videos on YouTube about women's clothing and undergarments throughout the history, and I was wanting to know, Dory, if you would like to give your opinion about what we saw on the videos.
I don't know if I would wear that because it looks very painful. It looks very painful to put on.
Now, which piece looked painful? The bras, the corsets, the body shapers, the thing
they pull.
Which, you know, I'll tell you a secret, though. The reason why the corset, by the way, is making a comeback is because, let's put it this way, people have tried over and over again to do it just by diet alone. And they can't fit in to those ultimate dresses, the Barbie girl type dresses, the Barbie type dresses, the Victorian era school marm type dresses without the proper undergarments. You can't really get into those tight clothes. And the sad truth is that without the proper undergarment, a typical woman looks just like a boy. Without the bump in the front.
So.
Well, it's not entirely true. That might be true, but may not be true. Because I know some men that have no bump. It's true. I guess there are a few that don't. But anyway, so what undergarment in particular did you find most interesting?
I just told you, the one that they pull with the string.
The corset or the nipper, waist nipper?
The corset.
Which comes in both big over the busk.
Yeah. And
the under busk.
Yes.
Under bust one means you still wear a bra. Over bust means it provides the bra. Type of stability entirely by its support. Don't forget, though, that the corset, as much as you did not realize it, you also lose a lot of waist inches, honest to God, real waist inches. Wearing a corset, which you can't deny. You saw the one woman there from the news channel, she tried it out and she lost several inches on her waistline. Even when she took it off.
Is that true? You can really lose that much weight on that?
You can. Plus, because it's like going for gastric bypass, basically. In a form that's removable. You can just take it off. So, I mean...
Yeah, but they said on there that it can hurt your liver.
If you do too fast, you can pinch a lot of things inside. So, you want to try to start out with a, like go maybe 1 to 2 inches below your existing size, and then say for a few months to a year or so, and then go smaller. Like you saw, that one woman was wearing a 19-inch waist corset, which I don't think her waist is really 19-inch before. Talk about the one that we saw, that was wearing the Victorian era clothing in the 21st century. We talk about a lot about weight on this channel, And I know that I'm still trying to work on my weight.
Me too. I'm trying really hard.
Well, this corset could provide that additional waist management and weight management. Waist management? Actually, it does. Actually, it does, because you're eating less because you feel, there's not as much stomach to fill. So you're not going to the bathroom as much because you're not eating as much. Yeah, it's true. Besides the corset, though, I mean, what did you think about in the Victorian era when you saw all those petticoats and things that you would wear underneath your typical dress in the Victorian era, 1860s?
I always wanted to be in the 1860s, just to wear what they wear for one day, see what they went through. All those women that had to put that stuff on. But I don't know if I could want to. God, I looked at it. I don't know.
Well, the nice thing is that in the 1950s, which includes the time of Lucille Ball and Mickey Ricardo from I Love Lucy, you probably noticed that the amount of undergarments that the woman tended to wear was a lot less. She may wear a girdle, and then she might wear maybe one petticoat, depending on the type of a dress she was wearing. Whereas, as we saw from the video on the Victorian era clothing, a woman could be wearing anywhere from 1 to 5 petticoats. With a corset underneath it.
What's a petticoat?
Petticoat it's kind of like a pair of bloomers. It's got a tool in it, so it kind of makes it stand out like this. Kind of poofs out behind your legs. So some people would wear as many as 5 or 6 of them, and so that the dress would stick out this far.
It's kind of stupid, ain't it?
Well, it depends on the kind of dresses. If you watch some of the TV shows like The Sound of Music, for example, with Julie Andrews, she was wearing a petticoat underneath that outfit she was wearing in the beginning of the movie in The Sound of Music. She was probably 8, maybe 1 or 2 petticoats underneath. But some women would be wearing as many as 5. And the petticoat and also worked with something called a bustle, which is a way to accent your backside. It's just kind of an interesting thing to think of all the things that we would do to ourselves back in the different eras in time. Now, as far as myself, I'm going to consider buying a corset in a few months because I really seriously want to look slimmer. That's the nice thing about a corset. It's just like they said about Lady Gaga. You put a corset on and you look slimmer.
I don't know.
I mean, you could still weigh the same, but you actually look smaller. So that makes it's an illusion. And maybe some of your close friends know it's an illusion. But everybody else say to you, "Gee, did you lose weight? You look good." That's how I noticed. It's the funniest thing, because I remember one time Mary Baker suggested to me in private, she said, "You ever thought about wearing a girdle?" I said, I had one many years ago, and I said, "I don't know." I said, so I went and bought one, and now I can't find out where I put them. They're probably still in here somewhere. Yeah, they probably still are. I don't know where they are now. Maybe they're in the one of your dressers. Maybe I'll look for it. I got a black one and I got a white one. Thanks to some material like Lycra, it's easy to get that kind of light to medium control without the actual steel boning, which you'd find in a corset. Or some heavy control girdles, or sometimes there's steel boning inside it, and it's designed to help keep everything in nice proportion. I mean, I think it's I think it's worthwhile try. I mean, I know I've tried losing weight. Just by
How much should they cost?
How
much should they go for?
What do you want? You try a girdle or
A corset.
a girdle is a corset. Can go for as much as 100. Almost like, well, depends on how quality made it is. You can get one for maybe about with medium control, or maybe for light control from maybe about 50. But for that, you might as well just get yourself a waist nipper, because a waist nipper is kind of like a corset, like you saw that one woman show you. It's just not as big, you know. You still waist it up around your waist, and it still provides that control. It's just not as much as a corset will do. But a better quality corset can cost about 100 plus.
Ouch.
Another thing you could try is something a little more inexpensive, is to go pick up a girdle down there at Kmart. Maybe for about $20. Get a couple girdles. You can wear your underwears underneath them, and that will provide you again with some of that control in the waist area to look better. I mean, if you want to go for a full body shaper, I've seen them for about $50, $50 to $60. But you and I both need a little more than just light control, because we're both bigger people, so you need a lot more control. But then again, it all depends on how much weight you're trying to look like you lost. I mean, if you're willing to maybe just go down maybe about an inch in your waist.
Well, I know somebody that did that liposuction. I know the gastro bypass surgery, and she put all her weight back on.
Right. But if she was wearing a corset for the same price as she could have paid for about 20 corsets, she could have had the ability to take it on and off, and she could have lost weight anyway.
Yeah, but...
Which means if she's tired of looking too skinny and wants to let it all hang out, she just takes it off, and there you go.
You want to let it hang out.
Well, you know what I mean. We both have a big belly, so we both know what that means. But I think
I've been heavy my whole life, but I've been heavy, and it's struggle. I mean, people, they tend to see it sometimes, say, "Oh my God, you're heavy, you're heavy." You know what? I got to the point. You don't like what I look like? Don't look at me.
Oh, now if you did buy,
I'm 49
if you did buy
years old.
some of this technology, and let's say for example, a good heavy duty girdle, you could seriously look a lot skinnier, and they'll say to you, like I said, "Wow, you look good. Did you lose some weight?" Like I said, you're the only one who has to know the truth, unless you want to tell your friends. It's true. It's true. That's one of the reasons I'm thinking about, maybe if I can in a few months, I want to definitely buy one. But I might need some help tight lacing the sucker, because it's hard to lace it from the back. If you have a person to help you out, it's easy.
Yeah, but some people, they're rough. They're like, they're crazy. They tighten it like they're trying to hurt you, kill you.
Yeah, that's true. But you don't have to go that tight with a corset. I mean, after all, a corset is a pretty, big investment. You can actually just lightly tighten it so you get some control. Or you can go to obscene. There was actually, that woman that was at the 16-inch waist. Or is it 19-inch? 17-inch, I think it was. 17-inch. Wasp waist.
Who the hell would want a 17-inch waist?
Okay, so
I'd be happy if I was down to 130 pounds.
Well, go by waist size inches, because after all, we can't go by weight.
17 inches waist? That's crazy.
Well, what's your waist? What would you consider your ideal waist size to be?
I have no idea what my waist size is.
Well, okay. Let me test that.
I ain't gonna do that in front of people.
You can test it right now, actually. I'll test it first on me, then I'll let you test on you. I have have a measuring tape.
Oh, jeez.
And I always check my waist anyway, because I test it 2 ways. First thing I do is
She's crazy.
I pull the snug. Snug is suck it in as far as I can go. 43 inches. You can do this off camera if you want, and just know the numbers for yourself.
Alright, how do I do this?
You just can go ahead and do it in your hole.
No, I'll do it.
Just, you want to measure it from your actual waist.
Where's that, here?
Waist is actually your narrowest part. Okay. Now, suck it in and pull it as tight as you can pull it.
I can't see it.
Okay. Yeah, I can't see it either, but okay.
Okay, wait, you're hurting me.
I'm sorry. Alright, right? Already I can see you're gonna have a big, we got a big problem. Another way.
Oh!
I got it.
Alright, let me see, move your hand.
And the numbers are 49.
You're
You're bigger than me.
I ain't doubt that. It makes me look like I'm a cow. Ouch.
So you would need to get a corset that maybe to reduce it, say, by a factor of 4 inches.
4 inches, people. 4 inches.
That's a good starting corset, actually. 4 inches? 4 inches.
So 4 inches every day, how much would I lose?
If you wear a corset every day, your waistline would probably shrink, but maybe down to 42 within a year. 42-inch waist.
That's not even touching it.
That's how much I'm talking about with the corset is. We're talking about not putting it so tight that you can't breathe, but tight enough that you provide like a 4-inch reduction, so down to about 45.
Okay, so I can, alright, I'm an 18 pair of pants, and I can fit into a size 16.
Excuse me?
Yeah.
You can't be, because I am a 43-inch, and I can only wear a size 20.
My size is, because I can fit in a size 18 pants, and if I want to, I can fit into a size 16. I can prove it to you next time I come up.
And you talk about feeling a stuffed sausage. And I'll tell you a secret. That's, again, if you think you can squeeze into a size 16, you know how tight that is, right?
No, I've you know those pants you sewed? Those pants you sewed?
Yeah, I know.
Those are a 16.
Yeah, well, they're smaller than mine. I couldn't quite get into those.
But I have no hips either.
Well, you're also shorter than me, too. Yeah, let's stand up. Just take consideration. Stand up. Let me show you the difference in height. Okay? Stand right in front of the chair so you can see in the camera here. Look at this difference here.
Well, turn this way. I'm a midget. I'm a midget from Midget.
No, what are you, about 5'2"?
I'm 5'1".
5'1".
Think so.
I'm 5'9", so you're 8 inches shorter than me. Okay, so, but I think for the immediate time, I think right now I have bigger fish to fry than
We should run a diet, Michelle.
I've already tried, and it's common for a lot of people.
It's hard.
It's hard because some people's body is just not going to lose weight, no matter how much you diet. And I mean, because I'm taller, the weight is more distributed. But remember
I carry my weight different. I carry my weight on my front.
I carry a big weight.
I don't have any hips. Every pair of pants I have to keep always pulling them up because I have no hips to keep them up.
Yeah, well, that's another good thing about either getting a girdle or getting a corset or even a waist nipper is that you will have a waist and you will have hips. But you already got hips. It's just that you got a big bay window in the front, and that's the reason why you can't keep them up. My ex-boyfriend had the exact same problem. is why his pants kept sliding down. Exact same problem. Because all the weight was in the front. I can weight in the front too. I have a waist.
Right, this conversation is getting out of control.
I know. I got a waist too. You can see that. But even I have a problem with pants. That's why I don't wear pants much. Because I keep falling down on me. Okay, guys. Now, let me ask you, the audience, a question. What means of physical tummy control do you like? I know this is different than most of my normal videos we do, but I'm trying to expand into new areas. To boldly go where I've never gone before. Well, at least more or less never gone before. And I know for a lot of people this is as uncomfortable as finding out that the pair of pants you want is not available in your size, and you basically realize that you have seriously had a problem. So, my question for you guys is, what would you do for weight control? I mean, would you really spend the kind of money and go through a gastric bypass?
I want to go on The Biggest Loser.
The what?
The Biggest Loser.
Well, did you put your name in the website?
Hell no.
Contest net?
Hell no.
Why not?
Because I want to be on TV.
Where do you are now?
Yeah, but... Oh, yeah, huh.
How about we do something a little bit less drastic? Our own little weight pledge for the both of us. Now, what I mean by that is I know you and I have both tried diets. We and I have both worked hard to lose weight through diets. I don't think that for me is working no matter what I do. Of course, a lot of times I eat because I'm stressed. I also eat because I'm bored, which is also a very common problem. So, here's what I'd like to do. And especially Christmas is hard because of holidays. If we were to try these different ways of controlling our weight, such as girdles, which I do got 2 of them. I don't know where they are right now. I'll look for them. And which is more for my waist size, which would probably fit you, but they might seem a little bit big. To waist nippers, which you saw can be laced up like a corset, but they're not. They don't have any steel boning in some of them. They're just more like heavy nylon panels, are designed to provide that kind of control based on how you lace it. I'm thinking is we could probably seriously take a couple inches off her waist, and then we could both look better, and then we don't have to tell anyone the truth that we're trying something as simply as
we just did.
Yeah. But I don't know how many people on primetime even watch this video. I don't even go to primetime, but you do. But
we should go back though.
Yeah, but the thing is, I don't think primetime is really compatible for me, because it's. I mean, see, the reason what happened was, in case you didn't know, folks, is I used to go to this program called Primetime House, and one of the problems with Primetime House is when I was living in Torrington, it was easier because I lived right in town. So I would go there after I would go to the soup kitchen in Torrington, get a lunch, go to Primetime in the afternoon. Then I moved to Winstead, and I'd have to take the van into the mornings to get to Primetime. Sit there until about 10 o'clock, 10:30. Walk all the way to the Covenant Soup Kitchen in Torrington. Have lunch, come back, and sit there, basically chomping my fingernails until their lunch was over, which was about 1 o'clock, 1:30. And then at 3 o'clock, I'd go home, and I felt like, this is a waste of my time. I could do the same stuff in Winstead. I could do the same things here. And of course, the other thing too is that primetime work day basically bored me to tears. And it still does. The fact is of me sitting in that program and...
it's the opposite for me because I get involved. It's the opposite for me because I get involved.
Yeah, but that's probably because... Are you a social person or are you an introvert?
What's that? I'm a social person.
Well...
I'm a people's person.
Aha! That's what a social person means. Whereas I am primarily an introvert that tends to stay to themselves, a homebody. You're just... I do videos and that's about it. And... Yeah, but Michelle, you do more than just videos. I mean, you go out now. You go out to the soup kitchen. You go out there. You're involved with local civic affairs. It's true. So, what do you think about what we were talking about earlier? Well, I think that for you, of course, that would probably work great because I think if you could easily tight lace it down to, take 6 inches off your 43-inch waistline. So you could easily get it down to about, let's say 43 inches, 6 inches less. They say suggest 7 inches. Okay, so we select 7. Well, if it was 10 inches, it would be 33. So then say, add in 3 inches. So 33, maybe about 36 maybe? 36 out of 43. Wow, that'd be nice.
Yeah, that would be nice.
For me, I don't...
For me, too. God, I'd be happy.
Well, yeah, but that's going to take longer for you.
Well, I think it'd take longer for me.
Because you got a bigger waist to start with.
So it doesn't matter.
Yeah, well, you want to start when you're doing waist training. It's just like...
Let's do exercise. We'll do a video all about exercise.
Exercise helps.
Jumping jacks and
not just jumping jacks. Don't forget crunches. You got to do
crunches. We'll do a whole video on crunches next time.
I'm thinking about doing something different this year. Hi, this is the North American Snow Queen. We're going to be freezing to the oldies. Do the video outdoors in the snow. Yeah. I've been thinking about doing that for a few years.
We could do the exercise for the oldies when we go.
Me and you wearing leotards out there freezing in the snow with bare feet.
Yeah, right. You're on crack.
Actually, seriously, did you know that people in the colder climates outside burn in an hour what the average person in the warmer climates burns in a single day?
Why would I want to exercise barefoot outside? That's insane.
It might be a little bit insane, but you could certainly, maybe wear some, light boots. I mean... Maybe
light boots, but some I got to go barefoot.
I've done it. Michelle has done it. Michelle has actually jumped in the snow buck naked. Yes, I have.
Oh, Jesus.
It's kind of interesting, mind you, because I do it at night when no one's around. I'll just go out there and jump in the snowbank.
Oh, here?
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Yes.
That's what me.
2, 3 in the morning. Whee! Plop!
What did your neighbors say?
As I said, no one's around. It's true. I can make a snow angel in my buckskin, And then when I come in the house, it feels like a sauna when I come in here.
I'm freezing to death.
Actually, it's more like when the polar bear thing, when you see those polar bear plunges.
What did Ed say when you used to do that?
He didn't know I did it. He used to think, I'll throw you on the snow sometime. Gee, Ed, bird me out there, buck naked. I was like, you thought I was kidding. I've done it. I'm not kidding. In fact, the cold doesn't bother me that much. I actually enjoy the cold. It's just like those people who do the polar bear the plunges, like at Highland Lake. I mean, they go up there and they're...
I always wanted to do that, but I don't know. I might get a heart attack or something and die.
Actually, probably wouldn't have a heart attack, but you probably, I don't know. It might be a little harder for you. Besides that, I mean, it's also emotionally harder too. I mean, unless you're really trim. Yeah, but you know, if you're too skinny though, you don't have that extra warmth to keep you warm. I had one guy say that to me one time on YouTube. He said to me, "Of course you don't mind winter. You got the fat to keep me warm." Yep, they sure do. I got fat to keep me warm, but that's true also with Eskimos too, because they have their own natural fat, plus they put on bear fat, seal fat, and sometimes moose fat on their bodies as well to provide an additional layer against the Arctic cold. It just happens to be that I happen to be pretty well buffered against the cold. Yeah, but let's be honest here. You might be able to handle Maine cold, but not, say, North Shore Alaska cold. Yeah, that's different. Yeah, that's big different. I mean, maybe minus 15 degrees Celsius versus minus 50. Yeah, that's a big difference.
That's cold.
That's cold. Even minus 15 degrees Celsius is cold.
Yeah, I really think we should do an exercise class, Michelle. An exercise video.
I don't really know honestly, I don't know if we really would be ready to do an exercise class for two reasons.
Why?
Number one is, where would you do it?
Right here.
Can't. Got a person that lives downstairs. I don't think they want to
hear
thump.
We don't have to do jumping jacks. We can just do like scrunches and leg motion.
But don't forget, if even if you just shake your booty, it also loses weight too.
We'll shake our booty. We don't have to jump.
Right. But you also do remember that. I don't know. I think I would be a little bit self-conscious. I'll be honest. But I definitely would like to do it outside. At least, because I've been thinking about doing this for a few years of freezing to the edge of the show.
I'm not
definitely
doing,
like Richard Simmons saying.
I'm not going outside and being naked and jumping in no fucking snow. I don't mean to swear, but you have to take that out.
I'm the North American Snow Queen and we're freezing to the oldies.
I'm not American Snow Queen and I ain't freezing my butt.
Well, it's an idea. So why don't we
maybe someday, but I'm not ready to go outside and freeze my butt.
By the way, we're going to potentially get some snow on the 1st of this month.
I heard that.
But I don't know how much, though.
I hope we get a foot.
Yeah, I don't think so. Because I don't think so either. Not a foot.
I gotta try.
We might get a few inches out of it, but I don't think no foot.
All right. Can we wrap this up? I get inches.
We're going to wrap it up. By the way, guys, don't forget to leave us comment suggestions, any ideas you have, complaints, whatever. You can leave them in the comment section below here. Or don't forget to share this video with your friends and family. And like or dislike. If you do or do not like, just let me know why. And if you're not a subscriber, please do subscribe. And yeah, me and Dory are thinking about seriously trying to find some ways to nip a few inches off of our waist. I'm going to try the corset. I don't know what she's going to try, but I'm going to try something a little more drastic.
We're going to exercise right here.
You can exercise out here. You can exercise
on the porch. No, the porch might fall apart.
That's possible. Actually, the porch is pretty unstable. I definitely would not do it on the porch.
Oh, yeah, I'm going to try, though. Me and Michelle are going to try. We're going to make that a New Year's resolution, and we are going to try to lose weight.
I've already been trying to lose weight for years.
Me too.
And I'm not doing too good. And it's not... Here's a secret. Also, don't forget, what also affects weight loss is what you put in. Mm-hmm. It's going to affect out what you put out. In other words, if you put in lots of sugar, you're going to be putting on lots of sugar. If you put in lots of starches, you're going to put on lots of starches. And if you put on lots of vegetables, then you put on lots of vegetables. So after a while, you start to look like a carrot.
I don't like carrots.
More like a sweet potato.
That's I like.
I don't like sweet potatoes.
You don't? Oh, I love them. They're awesome.
I don't.
Bake them and put lots of butter on them and syrup.
Oh, there you go. That's where you get animals from. This kind of reminds me of Mima. I would say, we love to eat. Yeah, that's why we're so big. I'd love to eat too, but all right. Anyway, so that's it for now, guys.
Have a good day.
Talk to you later. Bye-bye.